Hey, what's up? I'm Amina Rose, and this is Amina Seen It. I am reviewing season 3, episode 4, BMF. What writer did T piss off? Because this whole thing seems kind of lopsided. While I know T was a mover and shaker as well, they're making it as if Meech was the whole brain alone. So we start off with Meech hanging around with the Connect. He's saying that he thinks that the pilot is a Fed. Because he always says please and thank you, and he's extremely polite. So Meech gets on the phone and he's like, no, he's good. Of course, Loco wants Meech to do the drop because he doesn't trust Terry, and it all started with Markeisha. Because Terry slept with someone else's wife, he feels like he doesn't have loyalty, trust. So we see Meech and Angel getting it on and in. He pretty much wants her to stop turning tricks. Now, for all my fellas that say, oh, don't turn a hoe into a housewife. So does that mean we just stomp on them and keep everyone down? This is all Angel knew. She was taught this from an extremely young age. Meech is teaching her that you can do other things. And you go to T and his baby mother. She's happy. She's with T. She's eating. I told you. She's showing right now. Her stomach has gotten very big. And Meech comes home. All the boys is happy to see Meech. Terry did not look so happy, but he was happy at the same time. It's because he's trying to get some kind of respect out of the guys. And just as he's starting to get stuff situated the way he'd like, Meech comes in and, oh, bro, we got to move like this. That's pretty much what's going on with that. Markeisha takes Terry to go meet up with some judges. That way they could get the CPS case thrown out. So she's finagling it. She's talking. As she's talking, Henry walks up in the middle of this mess and he's like, they're not good people to do business with. I guess the judge is already in Henry's pocket. They feel like they flunked out. But Markeisha came back for round 2. She had photos and she pretty much bribed him. And she said, this is not a threat. I know what I'm doing. Get CPS to lay off. And with that, it's agreed. Now, I do understand why Terry like Markeisha. It is something new. It is something different. She's very skilled with being able to talk and have a certain look. And he feels like he has outgrown his first love, which you can't get mad at somebody if they feel like they outgrew somebody. Even though I am a big advocate for family, I don't gotta sleep with her. We got Charles working out all episode long. And we are noticing the change in his body. And so is Lucille, because she needs water. She was thirsty this whole episode. Whew. Charles walking around talking about, oh, your dinner is downstairs when you're ready. And he's like, So Henry or Henrietta, whatever the name is, in because they fluctuate. So Henry gives Brian a job to do, and that is to watch Meech, find out what his stash is, and have her guys raid the stash house. We find out here that Henrietta is arranging protection for Detective Bryant's son. See, this is the thing. Detective Bryant could have had Meech's people watch the son. However, he chose wrong. He chose somebody that is unstable, goes from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds, and she don't even get the whole story together. Nicole, you know darn well you're not supposed to have boys in this house. I would be finished if that was me at her age. Like, I couldn't even have company when my mother wasn't around, but she got whole boys in there. See, her thing is she's not a kid anymore. Okay, Nikki. So the pilot comes. And he delivers way more than Meech expected. It was a language barrier. Meech thought he was getting 250. He got 2,500. So now he's got to find out how to get rid of it really quick and unload all of the product. Meanwhile, Detective Bryant is watching the whole thing. Meech is looking at the pilot like, you're not going to help me stack all this stuff in the van? And the pilot is like, I did not come for this. I'm just here to drive. But the pilot is funny. He's cool and he's laid back. He is a character. I've seen so many guys like that. They are just easy riding, but they catch everything going on. Terry's in the restaurant with his boys and they're trying to figure out how to move the product really quickly. They need more people because it's more than expected. And then the CPS lady walks in. He tries to talk to her. She asks him the dumbest question because what gives her the license to ask him what would he do if his business fails? All you need to know is he has a business. Matter of fact, where is this line of questioning coming from? That's not your field, lady. They give them too much power. This is why Terry has to go over her head and go straight to the judge because this girl is out of control. She don't know nothing about life and she in his business talking about his finances. You're a social worker, miss. So we got Detective Bryant pulling in to the parking lot after the pilot has to stop to go to the bathroom with this smug look. And it's his fault because he pulls right up and he wants Meech to see him. So you're going to pay for this, Detective Bryant. You got so much of a hard on. Stand by. The pilot walks into the restaurant to use the bathroom. Easy does it. Two sheriffs come in. The pilot is like, oh, I got something for Detective Bryant. He tells them that he thinks Detective Bryant is going to rob him and he is concerned for his safety. Now, everyone loves a man in uniform. I don't know if you know, but pilots are very respected. So the cops is like, oh, no problem, guy. I don't know. I guess Detective Bryant forgot he was suspended with no gun and no badge. And you have a weapon in the car? Sorry, Detective Bryant. You are just a regular black man in Detroit right now. Detective Bryant gets arrested. Funniest thing in the world. He can't talk his way out of the paper bag. So all Henry finds out is that he's missing. And instead of trying to figure out what happened, she was like, oh, he wants to play with my money. She's going to take it out on his son. You chose wrong and you got a big ego, Detective Bryant. Lucille goes all the way to the doctor's office for pamphlets she could have got in the waiting room. Tell me you want to see him without telling me you want to see him. Meech telling Terry we got to keep our word. We got to get all of the work off. To be honest, once you give your word at something, if you're known to always keep your word, people trust you. Can we say Lala's acting has gotten better? Because I really sometimes don't care for Markeisha. I see Markeisha when I see her character now. I am no longer saying, oh, Lala. She tells Terry that she got CPS to lay off. Terry tells her they're not going out to dinner because he has to go be with the family. She's pissed off. She doesn't like it. And she's like, why don't you act like a man? The demeaning when people get upset. He could have said, aren't you still married to Boom? You stop acting like a bee. So Diana from Ghost Book 2 is nothing but the reincarnated version of Nikki. Because Nikki decides to throw a whole big dinner and then give everybody the business. And I'm looking like, Lucille, please be quiet because she's about to get astray. And sure as I said that, she got hit with the stray in front of everybody. Little Nikki sits there and says, you've been making Google eyes at the doctor the whole time. Nobody want to hear that. She wanted to make everybody awkward. And after that, Lucille gets all dolled up to go meet the doctor after hours. This time, at least she's being honest. It was no reason other than she wanted to see him and it looked like they was about to get it in. And she stopped. He said, you come back when you're ready. So all he got to do is show up and come back and she is ready. So after she changes her mind, she goes back home and we got Charles coming out the bathroom. His body was all wet and swollen. Lucille, she is just catching it all episode because she couldn't keep her hands off the doctor and she gets home and she's ready to go like a kitty. So Roller states that he wants to step away from the game. And Meech and Terry's like, it's all good. You want to take care of your family. We understand. We're not holding you. You still family. You live right across the street. He was like, I'll still continue to keep an eye on your family, which is all good. It's all good. And then you see this ninja, Stacks, talking out of the side of his mouth. Sideways, because he is a sideways dude. And I'm like, who's he in the car with? Is it the cops or the ops? And of course, he's sitting next to none other than Glock. And he's such a town idiot that Glock's peoples in the back is translating for Glock. Towards the end of the conversation, Glock starts translating for his people in the back. And they all laughing at Stacks, and Stacks is still looking confused. When you're not loyal, no one trusts you. So we could start digging a hole for Stacks. But which side is gonna get him first? Do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'm Amina Rose, and this is Amina Seen It.